I'm Superantonio. I'm sorry, friends, you heard that. It's clearing my throat. What's that about? Let's try that again, shall we?
Yep.
And we're live. Greetings, friends. Welcome back to Free Roam Fridays, where we free roam with Arthur in Chapter 2. We're back on the PS5, you will be happy to know. Even though I can't really see any discernible difference right now. I mean, it outputs at a higher rate, a higher resolution. We can go to 60 FPS, but we're still streaming in 1080p, so, you know, you can't really... I don't see you can see a discernible difference other than faster loading times. And Arthur is no longer able to control his horse because he has Bruce Wayne reflexes. Now we're getting better at driving the Batmobile, and we are getting worse at riding a horse. What's that about? Happy Friday. It's Friday the 13th. Yes, I will be watching Friday the 13th later tonight. It's streaming free on Tubi. So, I'm looking forward to that. I might play a little Batman Arkham Knight first, though. And it's June. We're halfway through June. It's the end of the work week for you and the start of the work week for me. We shall be streaming all weekend long. Tomorrow night we have another Last of Us stream, and then Sunday Batman Arkham Knight, which I am currently obsessed with. It's my new favorite game. Yes, I love this game. Obviously, this is Arthur's channel. It will always be Arthur's channel, but I'm really enjoying Batman Arkham Knight. And it's summer. And you know, I remember as a young lad, you know, when I was in school, and summers seemed infinite. They just stretched out in an unending stream of sunny days full of potential, just riding your bike, you know, having fun, getting into adventures, going off to the rail tracks to look at a dead body. That's a Stephen King movie. I just made that up. I never did that. Did I do that? Can't really tell. But you know, then sometime in my young adult life, when I was working full time, I realized that summer was no longer summer anymore. That all it meant was 6 paychecks. Notch 47 says, "Hey there, partner. Greetings, Notch. Happy Friday. We're just talking about summer a little bit and hanging out with Arthur. Going to get the chocolate Dutch warm blood later." And then I remember riding home with a friend of mine and you know, and talking about that. She was saying how you know, it was a Friday night and we were both tired from work and just like heading home, and she was saying, you know, I remember on a Friday night my favorite thing to do was like go to McDonald's with my friends, and now all I want to do is go home. What's that about? And I'm exactly the same way. There's nowhere, you know, all my favorite stuff is here at home. This is where the dog is. You know, everything. I'm perfectly happy spending a night, a Friday night by myself or with my dog, watching Friday the 13th, playing Batman Arkham Knight, and hanging out with you guys.
Thanks again, citizen.
I've got everything I need. And honestly, I prefer like the fall winter season, you know, Halloween and Thanksgiving, Xmas. Notch 47 says, "Yeah, I feel like this, but I am 19. Notch, you are a young person with your whole life ahead of you. Godspeed to you." Yeah, summer's, you know, summer, I guess. There are more wardrobe options in the winter months, and I like decorating the house for the holidays. But you know, some lovin' had me a blast. Yeah, whatever. It's like, yeah, I think you enjoy summer more in your youth, and as you progress over revolutions on this planet, you learn to appreciate more seasons. Hazy shades of winter. Channel moderator Miko Herptile says, hello, Super Antonio, mods, and everyone. Greetings, Miko. Miko says, hey to Notch. Yeah, Miko, I'm just being sentimental about summer because we're midway through June. Sadie, I'm sure, is enjoying her summer, but she enjoys all seasons. I don't really think she has a preference. She doesn't like rainy days. She doesn't like the rain, really. You know, it's like she doesn't like to be out in the rain, and that makes sense. Notch47 says hello to Miko. There you go, Miko. You made a friend. So yeah, I'm playing a lot of Batman Arkham Knight. I love that game. And as always, the downside of it is when I switch back to another game, an Arthur game, I have Bruce reflexes. I have Bruce Wayne reflexes. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight Big Tommy later, and we're gonna get our A kicked because I don't know how to. Well, I should say this: fighting in this game, combat in this game, is very simplistic compared to Batman Arkham Knight. It's just punch and block. But, you know, but it's completely reversed in Batman Arkham Knight. And I've been playing so much Batman Arkham Knight. I'm so immersed in that game right now that yeah, it was hard coming back to this game. But, you know, I love this game. I know where everything is. It's very familiar to me. It's like an old friend. But it's nice making new friends sometimes, too. And honestly, it's the first game, other than say The Last of Us, that has inspired me. Even Ghost of Tsushima was, you know, I love that game. It's a beautiful game, but I cannot say that I loved it more than this game. Notch says, yeah, I like Batman Arkham Knight, but on the PS5 it runs at 30 FPS, and I can't bear it at all. LOL. It's running pretty good on mine. We're doing a Batman Arkham Knight PS5 live stream. We do them on Sundays, and it's definitely not 30 FPS. It's not 60, but yeah, it looks fine. And I'm loving the game. I want to play all of them now. Raising cash for the chocolate Roan DWB. And as you know, every other fence is open in this game apart from Emerald Ranch. And honestly, Tumbleweed should really have a fence. You would think that they would have a fence in Blackwater. Blackwater does not seem to have a criminal element, even though there are bounties. My rule is, if there's a sheriff's office, there should be a fence. And if it's a lawless town like Armadillo, is technically lawless, just like Van Horn. So you'd think that they would both. And Van Horn has a fence, so you'd think that Armadillo would have a fence. Notch says, "Did you do the Riddler puzzles?" I'm doing the challenges, so we can rescue Catwoman because it's Catwoman, and But yeah, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do all the challenges because I want to get the, what's it called? The 240 suit. There's such a thing as a Batman 240 suit, Miko, and it's you have to complete the game twice and 100% it twice. You have to 100% the game twice and once on Nightmare mode, but you can do it like you can do like your game and then a new game plus. And so yeah. And it just looks like the bat suit, but it has a gold logo. But I think it would be cool to get, and I'm kind of obsessed with it, like I was with the Legend of the East outfit. Cloudy is here. Cloudy says, "Howdy." Where did Sadie go? She vanished. She's bored with the idea of Batman Arkham Knight. I found a historical inaccuracy here. I'm glad you're here to see it. Why are you wearing that sailor suit? But we're going to pick up a Lancaster. Good old lanky. Happy Friday, Cloudy.
Why are you dressed up like that? I've seen some
So yeah,
sick
we're
perversions in my time.
Notch. We're at 61%, I believe, on Batman Arkham Knight. But then I just dropped back because I don't feel that Bruce is upgraded enough. The boss fights keep getting harder and harder. So I got to get better at combat, and I've got to just upgrade all his skills and his bat suit and all his weapons. And then we can move on with the story.
Well, welcome, partner. First time?
And Miko says, "Hey, Cloudy," and Cloudy says, "Howdy, Miko."
That's a fool decision.
I want to see what's in that basement of yours. Show me. Right now.
Cloudy says, "Happy Friday the 13th, y'all." Yes, happy Friday the 13th to you as well. I'm going to be watching it later on tonight. It's from 1980, the original. Okay, here comes the inaccuracy. This shelving unit is not accurate at all. There's no way this would have been made completely out of wood, this thing. It would not have those struts back there. It would not have been made out of aluminum or steel. It would have been wood. That's something they picked up from a Grand Theft Auto file. It's a modern shelving unit that they made to look 1899-ish, and it's like they should be ashamed because everything else is like so period accurate, perfect. Like this room is perfect. This is exactly what would be there.
Always in such a rush to grow up these days,
Like they should, like that shelving unit in the corner. They should have like stuck something like that in there. Just tweaked the tweaked the scale to make it fit, and then just change the color. Let's grab Lanky. Yes, we'll let him go, but we're going to get the Lancaster first.
Take anything you want. Just don't harm my boy.
He was stealing candy, so of course we have to chain him to the bed. Hope he wasn't doing anything nefarious with this young man apart from kidnapping him and pretending he was his little boy and making him have that ridiculous haircut. But can't really tell. It is a Rockstar game.
Oh, finally. Thank you.
Nothing's really implied, but now he can go.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
And we're fine.
I know it was wrong.
That modern bookshelf unit offends me.
Now I've seen it all.
I don't know if I'll make a short out of it or you pointed out. It's like I did a historical inaccuracy in LA Noire, and it didn't really get that many views or interest. I don't know if it would have any views or interest in this game. 99% of players did not notice this historical inaccuracy in Red Dead Redemption 2. That would be my clickbaity title. I might do it. I don't know. I don't care really. Okay. Cloudy says, I have that haircut on my Arthur, LOL. Yes, that is the simple Jack haircut. Tropic Thunder reference. Sadie's in her crate. I can tell you right now that Sadie loves Catwoman. Even though she said that, why isn't she called Dog Woman?
Yep.
And I didn't really have a comfortable answer for her. I couldn't say, well, cats are sexier than dogs, because she doesn't want to hear that at all. Cats are more feminine. Anyways, I love Catwoman. They did a great job with her. She's a classic, very feminine Catwoman. Nothing like... And the game's only 10 years old, but there's no way you'd have a character like that now. Everyone would complain. Well, not everyone. People who don't watch the game, but somehow influence the developers and the board would the board of directors would complain. Got my green tea. So we'll get our horse situation sorted out. Pick up the Springfield. We'll recall that we saved Norbert, so he's probably waiting for us at the Valentine gunsmith. Then we'll start working on our satchel. First, we'll pick up some supplies from these gentlemen. You're not really supposed to be approaching from this end. Cloudy, you're absolutely correct. If you think about it, the Vanderlyn gang is not historically accurate. Gangs back in the Wild West days would have stayed within the same race. Yes, like prison gangs. Absolutely. That is absolutely true. You know, that being said, Charles is one of my favorite characters. And that's not virtue signaling. He's just a very well-written character. It wouldn't matter if he was white. Miss Tilly's hair. I love Miss Tilly. She's another favorite character, but her hair is definitely not accurate.
Good plan, fellas.
I don't know when hair straightening products for African Americans were invented, but it was, I don't think you had access to it in 1899. But you know, whatever. It's a Rockstar game. It is a product of our time, and we are a product of our time and culture. And that's the world we live in. Horse Reviver. Cloudy says, I wish we had more missions or side missions with Javier. I think they purposefully did not include extra side missions with him because of the Red Dead 1 connections.
Go on now.
If we have time, we always let the horses go. Go on, get! We never won him, but free carbine repeater if you want one. We should be able to resell those things at the fence. Eagle says hi. Greetings, Eagle. Happy Friday. Cut to morning. Let's go see what Uncle is up to. Miko says, "Hey, Eagle." Let's get a shave in. Miko says, "I too always let the horses go." And Eagle says, "Hey." And Horta says, "Hey there, folks." Greetings, Hort. How goes your adventures on the Scoville scale?
After Blackwater, we don't want any more deaths. What do you think of this place, Susan?
An improvement on the last, that's for sure.
Well,
Miss Grimshaw's enjoying her morning coffee. We should get something to eat. We're going to have to fight Big Tommy.
Well, I should be getting back.
And we're going to be bad at it. Oh, I forgot. I've got to put this Charles's scabbard in this cutscene is really ornate. It's got Indian beadwork, Native American beadwork, and I wanted to make a short of that. That was one that I was going to put make a short of. Completely forgot about it. It's coming. Also, Miss Tilly does a little shimmy shake
Careful
when
not to work yourself to death there.
when Karen says 3 young, healthy women. Be sure you see it. I will move us to
while the rest of us are busy stealing, killing, lying, fighting to try to
move
survive.
the cam over here so you can see the
think
shimmy
all day.
shake.
Well, it's a strange world we live in, Arthur Morgan.
Do you want to head into town?
Horta says, "Haven't had any new hot sauces in a while. Want to get another bottle of Dave's Insanity, but keep forgetting. Mama 1 and Papa 1 are here. Everyone say hi to Mama 1 and Papa 1.
Take the old man into town. You take us too?
And here's
Well, what do you
Sadie.
got planned?
Nothing. We'll find something for y'all to
Okay.
do. We always do.
Look for the shimmy shake that Miss Tilly does, because it's very charming.
About ready to murder
3 young, healthy women.
Well, can Miss Grimshaw spare you?
Can Miss Grimshaw
Here it comes.
spare you? What's happened to you, Arthur? 3 young, healthy women want you to take them. You're worried about house chores.
That makes me laugh every time. It's so charming. Miko says, "Hello, Mama 1 and Papa 1."
Civilization feels like weeks since
And Arthur can't say no to the ladies, to the women folk. Okay, yeah, let's go.
Ladies are gonna love it.
And Uncle, of course, is glad for the attention.
All right, out to the trees here, then take a
These girls are gonna get in trouble. Spoiler alert if you haven't played this game. I don't suppose you're allowed to call them gals. Ladies, sing us a song. This is one of the happiest moments in the game. It's just this little ride. And this is what they did before the internet, before mass media, before radio and TV. You had to make your own entertainment. So you told stories by the campfire. You did sing-alongs. Mama 1 says, "Hey, Miko." And Miko Herptile said, "Hello, Mama 1 and Papa 1." Mama 1 says, "Hey, family," and Papa 1 says, "Hey, gang." Papa 1 says, "Miko, hope you are well, my friend."
One of you gonna get that fella's horse?
Of course we'll help. We always help. Lumbago, really.
All right, I'll see what's going on. Lumbago, really.
Also note, I never noticed, Karen's wearing a purple dress, and what's her name? Mary Beth is also in like lavender /
No
purple.
problem.
Very popular color in Saint Denis.
Easy there.
Sadie's tired. I don't know if she had any adventures today. I don't recall anything. Nothing specific comes to mind. Mom once says, "You look handsome as always, superantonio." Oh, that's so nice of you to say. Sadie has to be on high alert for your female fans. I wore this exact outfit when I went to the grocery store today. I'll tell you, it was because it was kind of funny. Note the matching gold pocket square, and this happens
Here you go. You're a gentleman.
more
sir.
than
Gentleman.
I would not every time I go. I would say like perhaps every other time I go. So 50% of the time, some little old lady will ask me to get something off a shelf, and I'm happy to. You know, it's like because they remind me of my mom, and I get a little sad because she probably is a widower. You know, the husband isn't there to help her. So, anyways, I was picking up some ham. This one loves ham, and the little old lady goes, "Excuse me, could you get me help me with this thing on the top shelf?" So she wanted some prosciutto, so I grabbed her some prosciutto. Here we go, and she goes, "It's so nice to see young men dressing up. It's very respectful." And so I just smiled and said, "Thank you, madam. Very kind of you to say so. You have a great day." And I could hear the honor ding. You could almost hear the ding, my honor going up, and I was very pleased. But I was like thinking about what she said, and you're right. It is respectful, and it is kind of disrespectful for people, men especially, to be out in flip flops, showing their bare feet, and just and t-shirts and pajama bottoms. But yeah, I think the whole world has gotten far too informal for my tastes.
Put your head on the line.
But thank you as always, Mama One. I appreciate you. Pop One says Shires are really great horses.
Just remember, keep a low
Well,
profile.
we're gonna keep the Raven Black for a while. The unruly bastard. Papa One.
Near the stables.
Mama One says you're pretty much at max honor, Super Antonio. Well, I don't know about that, but I do my best. I'll try my best.
Here we are, just like I said, the cultural center of civilization. Man,
Then Karen goes, "Come on, ladies, imagine. We can imagine we're in Paris. We're sophisticatedly," which
With pleasure. We'll start
is
at the
nice. But I feel that a better line would be imagine. We can imagine we're in Saint Denis,
Well, we'll see you at the general store when you're done.
which is a sophisticated in-game city, and that would just make more
So that's how you see
sense for me personally, and plot-wise, because you get to go. They won't have to imagine they're in Saint Denis. It's going to happen in 3 chapters. Imagine we're in Paris. You're never going to make it to Paris. That's like Dutch saying, "Imagine we're in Tahiti."
Arthur Morgan. But I know you love me.
And they don't know the first thing about Paris, other than perhaps postcards and like secondhand stories from
Ringworm's my
Hosea,
favorite
and
parasite.
perhaps
You're my
tall
favorite
tales from
parasite.
Uncle or Mr. Pearson talking about his days in the Navy.
Rats with the plague. Then you.
Shut up. This is the place now. Come on.
Papa One says, on some of these wagons in the game, the horses are not matched well. You would want the same size horses pulling wagons and not one Suffolk Punch and one Shire. You would want a pair of the same breed. Usually they're paired up. They're paired up.
Thinking ahead, ain't you?
Papa One. I haven't noticed that. They might have like different pairs doubled up with the stagecoach. Papa One says, as they would not handle the weight due to size differences, as well the wagon wouldn't be as sturdy. Let's get rid of some of this stuff,
I don't know. Maybe.
including the assorted salted offal. We are at 61 or 65% of Batman Arkham Knight, Papa One, but we're stopping so we can level up some more, because we got some very, very intense boss fights, including a couple tank battles that you'll be happy to know that I have no idea how we can triumph. I'm going to have to do some research and watch some videos, see some strategies, and completely upgrade the Batmobile before we move on. So we need, we'll just go with the rifleman gloves. And I want to get the trapper shotgun chaps, but they're kind of like the, you know, they're a very nice buckskin chap. Kind of like these ones. So we're going to go with more of a buckskin tan theme this playthrough. Mom once says only someone who has used horses would notice that, Super Antonio. Well, there's a lot of horse people playing this game and on this channel. Mama One. Mom One says, Cloudy says, howdy, Mama One and Papa One. Mom One says, hey, Cloudy, hope you're well, Cloudy. Yeah, Hortus, I don't really do spicy well apart from wasabi. I do like wasabi, which is very anachronistic. I can tolerate and enjoy wasabi. But, you know, all the, you know, the ghost peppers and the Carolina Reapers and all those sauces, can't stand them at all. My sister likes them, and my mom, towards the end of her life, loved those spices. Pop One says, nice choice in chaps, Super Antonio.
Here's to your good health, sir.
Fun fact, first playthroughs of this game, before I went with like the dark outfit, I would go with these chaps. I like the buckskin look.
I think I got something good.
What?
I snuck into this fancy
Cloudy says,
house.
Super Antonio, are you looking for the Riddler informants, or are you using a guide to find the trophies? I'm using the informants.
New York or someplace?
Just because I like to practice the combat moves, the combos. Square, circle, square, triangle. Cloudy, we finally got the ice grenades. Nobody told me. So, and you know, it's like R2, R2, but it's R2 tap and then R2 hold. So it's tap hold. And if you tap tap, he just crouches. And that looks so, it's so embarrassing in the middle of a fight. that Bruce just crouches. No, throw that thing. Because the batarangs are L2, L2 is just tap tap. But it's tap hold. So it's like, you know, there's just, it's so much more complicated and diverse. Batman Arkham Knight is very diverse in its combat moves.
Who are you?
A friend of mine.
Get the hell off of her.
Cloudy says, I'm doing okay, Papa One. How are you doing? But I am using a guide, Cloudy, on the Riddler, Riddler's Revenge, the Riddler challenges, and watching videos, because those are hard.
Big mistake, Tilly Jackson.
Just get lost.
Riddler might not be smarter than Bruce, but he is definitely smarter than me.
Go wait with Uncle and Mary Beth. They're
Who was that fella?
Okay. Thanks, Arthur.
What was that all about?
Just someone I used to know.
Pop One says, I'm doing well, Cloudy. We finished up work early today, so me and the farm boys went into town and had some beer, and then we got some friends coming over for poker around 10.
I'm looking for a girl who came in here earlier with a drunk fella.
That sounds like fun, Papa One.
You'd remember her.
And Cloudy says, I got the deadliest assassin outfit from Red Dead 1. It looks good on Arthur.
No trouble now, please.
Nice, Cloudy. You know about, were you here when I was talking about the 240% suit? Because I think we're going to go for that. Which is basically the Batman suit, but with a gold logo. But I think it would be nice. I think this would make a good short too. Sorry, wrong room. Let me make a note of that. Sorry, wrong room. Sorry, wrong room in Red Dead Redemption 2. Again, 99% of players missed this funny moment in Red Dead Redemption 2. And I'll tell you a little YouTube channel trick. Anyone who does that wants the interaction of people saying, I noticed it, I saw it, I've seen it. That's why they do it. It's a challenge for you to, one, watch it. Really surprised that we single shot this guy. He's got Bruce reflexes now. It's a challenge to you to watch it and to interact with it. Either, you know, a like or a dislike.
Yeah.
Because they both count the same as far as the algorithm
worry about, just
is concerned.
men.
So it's a
But-
trick. You're being tricked.
Stupid
You're being
bastard.
manipulated
Stupid bastard
anytime you
was
see a
so
title
smart,
like
bank.
that.
Bank.
Sure, I know
But it
small-town
works.
banks are usually a waste of time, but this is a livestock town.
Cloudy says, sounds like a nice day to Pop One. Hope you win a lot in poker.
Keep investigating.
Mom One says, the boys are playing poker and the ladies are crocheting and watching true crime. That sounds about right, Mama One. That sounds like a fun night.
Thank you, Arthur. I don't
Cloudy
think
says,
I
oh,
can
nice.
say
I never got that
when
Batman
have
suit.
to
I
be.
think we're going to do it, Cloudy.
You okay?
Mr. Maddie
Sure.
says,
Y'all
what I
punch
missed. You're
me.
just in
I'd
time,
punch
Mr.
him
Maddie. We're
harder.
going to
All right then.
get the chocolate DWB as soon as
Look at us.
Weren't you
Arthur
in
deals with
Blackwater a
Big
few weeks
Tommy.
back?
Me? No, sir. Ain't from there.
Oh, you were. Well, I definitely saw you with a bunch of fellers.
Me? No.
It's interesting that Uncle
Listen,
is still in his
come
winter
here for a minute.
I
clothes
saw
and
you.
has
Come here.
Come on,
his belt on the outside.
I don't like this. Me neither.
Is that his gun belt?
Go get
yeah,
the
it's
girls home.
got his gun
I'm gonna
belt
go
on
have
the
a word with our
outside
friend.
of his
Be
coat.
careful, Arthur.
Just a word.
Pop One says, thanks, Cloudy. Hopefully I will. At least Mama One will think I did. Hopefully.
Just borrowing it.
You stay away from me!
Get back here right now.
I've never been good at gambling, even though I've got two professional gamblers in my family on either side, so both sides, and a lot of amateur gamblers. You know, like playing the lotto or going, going to the casinos, etc. Yeah, there's the Asian stereotype about gambling.
Telling lies about me.
It's
No!
a stereotype because it's true, and then essentially I do
Now, please help me out.
make
I ain't
one of my
never
primary
been
sources
black,
of
boy.
income
Why are you chasing
is from the
me?
stock market, as you know, which I do not
I've
consider
got a
gambling,
fortunate
but
face.
many people do.
Me too. Now, please, pull
Mama
me
One
up.
says, what made you get the chocolate Dutch warm blood this time? A very good question, Mama One. One, it's a very popular horse. It's the best horse you can get in Chapter 2, unless you go for the Perlino Andalusian,
partner?
which I believe is not available. I mean, we'll go look for it, but I believe with this version,
Well,
I don't know if it's it should be because we've got the latest update, so that should be available. But
Jimmy Brooks.
yeah, it's a popular
best for
horse,
both of
and I haven't transferred over the old files, so we can't
Well, I agree.
get the Iron Grey Ardennes or the
You're a good man, and
reverse dapple thoroughbred.
you want a pen?
Jimmy
One of them
Brooks,
steel ones.
do you want a pen?
that's very kind of you. But I'm not a good man.
Papa One says, professional gambler is an ever-changing job title, Super Antonio. On a good day, you are a professional gambler. On a bad day, you are a professional fool. Yeah, I
should have killed you.
don't think I could live with the stress,
Should
honestly, even if I got good at a game.
Brooks.
Me? I
But yeah.
never saw you. Not now.
It's,
not never. I think we have an understanding.
Of course we do.
I got family, like family members who tell stories.
I've got a good memory.
Can tell stories about exclusive card games, much like the Saint Denis,
One cent in this here old
like the
mine.
Saint Denis gunsmith with $100,000 buy-ins.
Come on.
Tony S22 says, "Hello all, greetings, Tony." Is it Tony Super 22? Greetings, Tony Super. Mom one says, "I like how chasing Jimmy Brooks didn't make the town suspicious." Pick up some wild carrots for the horse. We better return this one.
Yeah.
Miko says, "Hello, Tony." Yes, it's Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. The original is available for free on Tubi. Gonna watch that later tonight.
Here's your horseback, friend.
Oh, you really were just...
Appreciate it.
Kevin Bacon's in it. A very young Kevin Bacon. I believe it's his first role. And spoiler alert, Jason isn't. He's not really in it. He's kind of in it. But it's not really about Jason. There's nobody in, you know, in a hockey mask. And even in the second one, he's not wearing a hockey mask. I think that happens in the third.
Welcome. Well, I use this space as
Mama one, it continues. The townsfolk were like, "Oh, that's just Jimmy. He does this all the time." Good old Lanky.
No trace of rust on that as far as I can see. It doesn't hurt to stock
We
up on ammo.
need some explosive rounds because we will be going after the legendary Grizz. Also note, Arthur changed into a fighting outfit. Took the coat off. So we can move better. No, it's not really going to help. We're going to embarrass ourselves. Because we have very sophisticated Batman combos that do not work in this application.
That should be good.
Pop One says, I love my Spencer repeater. It is similar to the Lancaster. Cloudy says, I'm using the Warp Brindle Arabian on my new playthrough. I barely use the Arabian horses, but my god, that horse is so damn fast. LOL. Yeah, the Warp Brindle Arabian is very underrated, I believe, you know, as far as Arabians go. And it's not as popular as you would think. And in fact, I would say it's the least popular of the Arabians. Red Chestnut is the most popular. Used to be the White Arabian, but I think everyone likes Big Red better. And Big Red certainly does look pretty in the sun, and I am. But speaking of pretty in the sun, here comes another redhead, Anastasia. Another character you will never see in an American video game ever again.
Oh, Arthur! Arthur, come here. Come over here. I want you to meet our friends.
Pleased to meet you.
Well, ain't you just a toughest teak mountain man?
Oh, you be quiet, Anastasia. Anyone can tell.
And
this one is a
there's a moment here
princess.
after Arthur shoos him away, unfortunately, where Charles reaches out to Anastasia's friend. And she doesn't even look back. Charles is trying. He's like, "Oh, Arthur, what are you doing? Stop talking, Arthur." See, he reaches out, and that's it. Gets like one last little hand touch. Note Charles's scabbard. Note the Indian beadwork, the Native American beadwork. In fact, I stopped the game so that we could take a closer look with photo mode. And you can't do anything here. We're still in the cutscene. And we're still in a cutscene. Okay, where'd Charles go? And Arthur's just... Poor Arthur is embarrassing himself. But look at the beadwork. There. That looks nice. So, yeah, we'll definitely make a short of that because I never noticed that before. Mom One says, I've been using Biscuit on my main playthrough. I'm in Chapter 3 and brought Micah back to camp. I finally got my Legend of the East Satchel, so I figured this time to get the legendary rat back to camp. Pow, pow, pow. And Papa One says, I've said it before, but this bar fight mission brings back good memories of my younger fighting days, especially with my dad and the crew. I've mentioned the Mississippi State Fair of 1981 before. Yes, you have, Papa One, where you met your own Big Tommy.
I'll make you go away.
I find it very interesting. The better I get at fighting with Batman, the worse I get at fighting with Arthur. But yeah, I've got Batman Arkham Knight reflexes right now, and I don't want to lose them.
You want some too, huh?
So I'm just gonna have to deal with the useless Arthur for a little bit.
You're kidding me. Really, boy?
Pop once as we got into it with a group of guys, and the sheriff gave Dad and me a tour of county jail and said if we came back, he would give us another tour. LOL.
You're going down in the mud. You okay there, Arthur? Yeah, I got this son of a bitch.
See, we're trying to block. If you block too soon, you do a push, and that does nothing to Big Tommy. It's gonna get critical in a second when our heart. There, see, we're draining our health core. Haven't done that since like first playthrough. There. Okay, now we'll be fine. That was a relief. Would have been embarrassing if Big Tommy killed us. Oh, that made me think of something. Something interesting. How do I explain it? Okay, one thing I love about video games. It's not exactly a metaphor for life, but you cannot actually lose in a video game. Because it'll just make you repeat it. You know, it's like if you die, if you fail the mission, you always get a second chance. There's always a second chance, third chances in video games. You do not necessarily get a second chance in reality, in real life. But I think this idea of second chances and renewable lives has bled over into the culture. This is what I mean, because you know there's so many. It's like these riots. There's so many young people and you know, and older people, boomers. Okay, boomers that are out there acting like their actions don't have any consequences, or if they you know, if something bad happens to them, they can just like, you know, they can reboot or you know, or just do it all over again, not realizing that their actions do have consequences, and the choices that they make also, you know, are permanent. There's an impermanence to video games. Not everyone plays video games, but I think that idea of second chances has drifted into the collective unconscious, into the culture, and it's on both sides. It's in the legislation. It's why shoplifting is legal. It's, you know, it's like the logic for like letting letting everything burn. On, you know, on the police side, on the LA mayor's side, is don't escalate. You know, it'll burn itself out literally if you just let them destroy property. I assume like threatening a person is the line that you can cross, that they will, like, you know, finally arrest you. But and that is the same thing. You know, you can always rebuild. You know, it's like I think you know, on the legislative side, they see dollar bills when when the city burns, because you get federal funding, you get people coming in to rebuild stuff, you get to make new properties, you get to push people out, charge, I'm getting into conspiracies again, and I apologize. Anyways, I think it has to either video games are a symptom of that, or they helped shape it, or a little bit of both.
Back so soon?
I do love the second chances you get in video games. It's a great metaphor for life. It's not necessarily true. The second chances are few and far between in life.
Just want to get a drink. I'm parched.
This exploit, well, actually, no, we just ran back. Never mind. Mom one says times were different back then. Now they would really press charges back these days. Back then, both sides just kind of shook hands and made peace or made plans for a rematch somewhere else. And Pop one says, I wish people could go back to the days and fight it out man to man and then shake hands and walk away. When I was a kid, when you had a bully, oftentimes your dads made you fight it out. And you settled your differences and moved on. And Papa one says, when I was 8 years old, I was being bullied by an older kid. He constantly bothered me. While my dad and his dad made us fight, we fought it out and the kid became my best friend. We even joined the Marines together for Vietnam. And later he was part of our horse's crew. That's a nice story, Papa
You
one.
want to go hunting?
What are you hunting? An elephant?
I feel at an early development of this game, we were supposed to get this Carcano rifle. Just the fact that Hosea lets him hold it and look at it and feel it.
You need me to come with you.
I'm going to give you this map and this rifle. I won't need it.
Up near the Dakota River? Take a
But
day or two.
for whatever reason, we do not get the
Me
Carcano.
too. It's been a rough couple of weeks. You need anything?
Even first playthrough, I assumed he was going to give us that
Let's go
rifle.
then. So you still ain't replaced Boadicea?
Nah, I miss her. She was
Hop,
quite
hop.
a horse.
Hey, come back.
This one's okay, but
Come back.
ain't no boat to see.
I've been meaning to offload this big Shire horse for a while now. Unruly bastard.
Where'd you get him?
Some big loudmouth bastard tried to rob me. Was out
Here's the
riding,
unruly
so
bastard.
Well, you know how it is.
I see.
Let's take him to Valentine. It's on the way, sorta. There's a decent dealer there. We'll unload him. You could buy yourself a new horse. Put your saddle on him. Let's get going.
Okay.
Let's take him to
I do kinda
Valentine.
like this horse.
There's nothing wrong with two horses. And the stable's always
So
got the
currently
best.
we have this horse, Mahogany Bay, the unruly bastard, and the chocolate Roan, DWB.
Get this adjusted, boy.
Pop one says, and he's still one of my best friends to this day. He's retired and living in Florida on his own land now, but we still see each other at least 3 times a year. We still meet up every Veterans Day.
Creature.
Easy, big feller.
All right, let's head into town.
I'm glad he survived,
No
Papa
bar
One, and
fights,
I'm glad you're still friends.
I heard about that.
I'll do my best.
We're heading out. Might be gone a couple of days. They got a good range of horse tack at the Valentine stable.
Papa One says, at my ranch or his, we always go on horse riding trips with our sons to commemorate our surviving and being old men.
I remember now.
As well you should.
That
Watch
turned
out.
into a long day.
Yes.
Lenny and Jenny, Bill and Phil.
Mac went crazy. Threatened to kill the whole
What's that
town.
about? Everybody knew.
Davy was
I don't
passed out so
honestly
cold
think
we
that
left him
they
there.
would have talked
Came
about
back
it.
in the
Speaking of
next day, he woke up
1899,
and started right back drinking again.
it's still illegal back then. I don't think they would have.
I miss those boys.
I don't think it would have been an open secret that they're joking about now.
It must
That
be pretty hard on Lenny. You could
I mean, if
tell
you want to
he
be
was sweet on
completely
her.
accurate with this game and make everyone racist,
Lenny and
but
Jenny could never have worked. That's like Arthur and Martha.
I heard something
or
funny.
Bill
Speaking of
and Phil.
Speaking of Bill and Phil, Michael Knowles, Catholic conservative YouTuber that I do watch,
With them, too.
Nonsense.
Technically, I'm a Catholic conservative, but I'm not really religious. But, you know, I was raised Catholic. Anyways, he said, okay, the good news is Pride Month was canceled. But the bad news is now we have Mexican race riots. And, you know, it's one or the other. And I cannot tell you which is worse, which I would prefer. Pop One says, this mission of Hosea and Arthur reminds me of hunting with my dad. And later on, me taking my son on hunting trips. I wish my dad could have lived to take my son on hunting trips when he was a teen.
Buy yourself a horse.
Yeah, but fortunately, you carried on that tradition, Papa One.
Get a few things to lure that bear out with.
Somebody's tired. What's that about?
Hey, how can I help you? I'm in the market
And
for
this
a new
stable owner
horse.
has the greatest
Something
mustache
strong
in
and fast.
Valentine. I mean, if
Well,
they're
you're
having
in the
a
right place. I got
they're
some
having
beauties
a
in at the moment.
contest at Smithfield's, I think he wins every
What
year.
about this one here? Yeah, you looking to sell? I ain't sure yet. You got papers? No, no papers. Well, of course, that's going to affect what I can pay. But
See, again, he
look's
asks
in.
for papers. Papers aren't a big deal in this game. There was a slightly bigger deal in Red Dead 1. Not
Pay a
really.
good price. Otherwise, I can always stable them here for you. Here, take a look.
Papa One says, it's funny how as you age, you fill in certain spots. I remember being in Arthur's position with my dad being Hosea. Now I find I'm Hosea and my son is in Arthur's spot. Yeah? That's what happens. We're going to name this horse Superantonio. The world keeps turning. It's an odd place for a chair. And I hate that saddle. But we can't, you know, that's what we got right now. We'll get an alligator saddle. That, you know, that's an easy upgrade. And we'll work on the rattlesnake later. Load up on supplies as long as we're here. Have a beat. Mama One says papers are still are a big deal still. A stolen horse can get you in a ton of trouble. I believe it.
All right, partner. You got yourself a deal. And a fine new horse. I hope so. Well, I don't sell anything other than good animals.
Hosea will be very impressed with our choice of horses, as well he should be.
Here are your papers. And on me.
I'm seeing, but a slight difference in the picture quality
All right, you.
from running this on the PS5.
I know he's
In
gonna
this
look after
cutscene
you
especially.
just
I don't know if you can see it on your monitor. Let's see.
Looks like a nice animal you got.
You're streaming on 1080p. You should be able to see it.
Guess we'll see.
All right, let's get going. We got quite a ride ahead of us.
Give it a little brushy brush. That's one of my favorite things. Oh, we open the stable and we get a horse brush.
Up in the mountains east of Cumberland
Mom one says, I
Falls.
love the boar saddle. My current saddle is a boar and wolf saddle. I have several saddles, but my custom-made boar and wolf saddle just fits Nellie so well. She is a light gray Arabian.
So how are things with you and John?
Fine.
Nice.
Ain't it about time you let it go now?
Nellie's a nice name.
Hosea. He
A nice horse
for
name.
a goddamn year.
I've
A nice
spoken
dog
to him
name.
many times. He knows he did wrong. He just wants to put it behind him.
I'm sure he does. Running off on that kid is
I was
one thing,
saying
there's
earlier,
trouble. He knows that.
Mama One that we're playing Batman Arkham Knight, and you can play as Catwoman. She's a playable character. And Sadie likes Catwoman a lot, but she wonders why she's not called Dog Woman. And I didn't want to explain to her the differences between cats and dogs. That's a nice scene.
Okay, I think we need.
John left for a year, which would be a perfect DLC for this game. What John did in that year, and it would dovetail quite nicely with Red Dead 1.
Moonstone Pond. We're going the right way.
You could have some adventures, perhaps a little flirtation, something to get his mind off Abigail. Mama One says, we now have 5 personal horses. When we get back to the horse trade, we agreed to only get 1 horse for each of us as a personal mount. And you see how that went. Well, yeah, 1's never enough, I think. Technically, I only need 1 watch. But,
of course.
right now I'm more focused on the wardrobe and stuff for these live streams. I want to get a plaid tie. A skinny plaid tie. Very mid-century. Plaid tie, but with a plain shirt. I think that would look good. Want a rabbit? There. Have a rabbit. You don't need a lecture on not hunting with the bow.
Good job. All right. It's getting late. Reckon we should camp here.
Sure.
Well, then you get us set up.
Let's hunt that grizzly.
I'm famished.
Cook that rabbit, then. They're delicious on an open fire like this.
Fine by me.
Papa One says it's hard to find the perfect horse. I love pretty much every horse, but I have bonded with a couple. I really love my current main horse, which is a black Missouri Foxtrotter.
No, I'm fine. I don't like eating this late.
Okay. After all that.
We named him Josie Wales because he reminds me of the horse Clint Eastwood rides in The Outlaw, Josie Wales. A great movie.
All right.
I'm pretty sure we did a Western Wednesdays on Josie Wales. We did most of the Clint Eastwood Westerns. Sure did.
First light to find this monster.
Also note, if you don't skin that rabbit, if you just put him on the horse, you will have extra game in your satchel, and you will be able to sell that rabbit at the trappers when you get rid of the legendary the legendary Grizz pelt.
Coffee?
Yeah, see how those flowers just pop? That's a PS5 difference.
So, what's your plan?
Well,
It's subtle. It's not night and day like Last of Us Part 1, but yeah, it's subtle. I can see a difference now.
A lot of fellas bait then shoot from the trees, but I prefer to hunt on the ground. More dangerous, but
where are you storing that?
And if he bolts, we can start right off.
See, he picked up that camp chair, that folding camp chair, and somehow collapsed it into his saddlebag. Papa One. What's that about? Now, and so there's 3 camp chairs.
Arthur.
So we got to make a
That was
potent
virtually
predator
weed
bait.
on bear meat.
Okay. I think I got
Papa
this
One
done.
continues, I also bought a Blood Bay thoroughbred and named him Moonscar, as he has a distinct mark under his right eye, and he is a pure racehorse. He's 8 years old, and I've taken quite a liking to him. And then we are raising Super Antonio, the brindle thoroughbred, who we officially named after you, Super Antonio. We officially filed the paperwork. Oh, thank you, Pop One. That's a great honor that I do not deserve. And I'm very charmed.
Well, try your luck down by the water. That's where I saw him last.
Okay, let's go get that Grizz.
How's that horse treating you?
So far, so good.
You know,
First playthrough, I remember like seeing this mountain range and thinking, I just want to climb those mountains. I just want to see the view from the top of those mountains. And then, you know, you're not disappointed when you get up there,
Think about
as long as you don't kill the horse.
we did briefly. You don't remember? Guess you were still young.
I wasn't even interested in finding anything. I just wanted to explore.
She understood. She knew what I was.
I remember you not being around for a while, but well, things were looser back then.
Truth is,
And in Batman Arkham Knight, first playthrough, it's way more purpose driven.
it's hard.
You know, because everywhere you go, you're going to encounter somebody who wants to beat you up. So you get
Me?
so you get a little combat training.
If Dutch's grand plans work, and we can make
Same
enough
with Last
money
of
to
Us.
go
You can't
someplace
really
new,
explore.
really new,
You
maybe
can
we
just find
all
stuff for
have a new
upgrades.
start. Anyway, for now, let's try and chase ourselves a bear, shall we?
Let's
Let's
catch
slip by the
ourselves a
water and
bear,
see if
shall
he's
we?
been fishing again recently.
There's salmon in this lake. And a couple gold bars on that island.
Look for a track.
Cloudy says, Super Antonio, they crafted the chairs like in Minecraft. Yes, indeed. Cloudy, I used to play Minecraft all the time with my nephew.
Sure look big enough.
We used to play Legos when he was younger, and then Minecraft was his first video game, and so I started playing it as well. We played it on our laptops and watched the Clone Wars. Mom wants says Super Antonio is rather going to be in horse races or maybe just for breeding. We had someone who wanted to purchase him for racing due to his pedigree, but my papa refused, saying Super Antonio is his. I'm glad you did, Papa One. Is his passion project, and he would not take any money, no matter how much. Oh, that's good to know, Papa One. It warms my
On
heart.
the ground here.
Half-eaten fish here. Must have been left by our friend, I reckon.
Come on, see if anything else.
Salmon is probably my favorite fish. But yeah, I think salmon is my favorite
Something else
fish.
on the ground, just here. There's shit here. Watch your step.
Looks real fresh. Reckon he's
Watch
gotta
your
be close.
step.
Let's keep going.
Looks real fresh and huge. It's a giant pile.
Damn it. Looks like the trail ends.
And run into the cutscene.
We lost him?
For now. A little optimism, Arthur.
Well, what do you think?
I think we
We split up.
and each look.
Either that or we could place bait here.
That could work. Which you think?
Cloudy says, "Did you guys ever play Lego Worlds? It's like Minecraft." No, we did not. He loved
Come on, before we
Minecraft,
lose them all together.
and you know he was very
Let's just
like
make a call.
faithful to his games. He loved Minecraft and Star Wars.
Split up.
Not
Okay.
like he.
I'll head this way.
Interestingly, he didn't like the
head
new
down that
Star
track.
Wars. The new trilogy, he liked, you know, the original, of course, and but he liked the second one. You know, with Jake Skywalker. So those are his favorite of the trilogies, and he loved the Clone Wars, the animated Clone Wars. So it was pretty much just Clone Wars and Minecraft until he moved on to Fortnite.
Shoot that thing, please!
It's a shame to cancel this beast. It's a shame to cancel all the legendaries, but that's the point of the game.
You're fine, old man.
See, this moment, he really should give us the Carcano. He's never going to use it again.
Thank you. I think. That was fun.
Papa One says, I know Superantonio the Third Red will be one of my best horses ever. When I found a male brindle for sale, I immediately told Mama One I had to purchase, and we agreed to name it in your honor, as we know how much you love the brindle thoroughbred. We're going to get one next.
He said it told him where to find some real
That's
big
next,
animals.
Papa One.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. You saved my life, Arthur. I think I'm going back to camp to lick my wounds. You coming, or you gonna track that monster? Well,
Okay, we shall
I'm
stay.
gonna stick around here for a while.
I'll see you back at camp. Yeah.
Let's get that horse. All right, let's get that bear. We're going to do a trick. I think you may have seen it before. Cloudy says, I used to make famous horses from cartoons, TV shows, and video games in Minecraft. I mostly made pyramids, and then I started reproducing like architectural icons. I made the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum, partly because I just, I wanted to expose my nephew to a little history. And what else did I do? I did some Greek temples, did a lot of pyramids. I was obsessed with pyramids. They were just fun to build. They were very soothing to me. I made a Titanic. That was fun. Mom One says, we are having professional photos of several of our horses. I will have to email you pictures, Super Antonio, so you can see some of the horses we talk about. I think I feel a horse show is coming into fruition. Send a bunch on Mama One, and we'll do a horse show again. Okay, after these, he will all the legendaries. Fun fact: spawn after the second clue. If you're looking for him, you can see him. Just look for movement.
Must be near.
Cloudy says, I made Beecher's Hope in Minecraft and The Sims 4. Then jump on this thing, jump on this rock, and he can't get you. Just like a cougar, he'll like skulk off. So if you want him, he just gets mad. But you can get a really good look at him. So one explosive round does nothing. See if we can put one behind the ear. See, it's kind of sad. He just rolls down. He was going to go away. He was mad at you. But we had to be here so we could take a thumbnail. Shout out to the channel members. And that's about all I have for you tonight, friends. Appreciate you being here. I will keep the chat open for a little bit. Shout out to the mods. Mama One and Papa One and Miko Herptile. There we go. We shall return tomorrow night with The Last of Us Part 1. Hop up, say goodbye. Say goodbye. Tell everyone to like and subscribe. And we will have a Batman Arkham Knight live stream on Sunday. Enjoy your Friday the 13th. Appreciate all of you. Great talking to you. And have a great night, friends. See you soon.
deputy.
Look, them raiders blindsided me. Tied me up for some kind of ransom, I suppose. Guess that was paid, though, wasn't it? Now, come on. I'm a policeman!
There you go.
Thank you. God damn these bastards.
Get out of here before any more of them come along.
Okay. There might be some things here if you want them.
Well, guess I'm one of the good guys.
Thanks again, citizen.